General Hospital spoilers talk about this week at General Hospital. Port Charles will witness a series of difficult moments as unavoidable events push the characters into intense and challenging situations. Each moment brings significant turning points, keeping viewers glued to the screen. These developments not only change the lives of the characters but also force them to face tough decisions, leading them into a new life filled with obstacles and struggles. From tense confrontations to secrets being exposed, nothing will ever be the same, and these twists are sure to cause major shocks, disrupting the relationships between the characters in Port Charles. This week in Port Charles, a storm of political and family turmoil begins as Tracy, one of the most powerful figures in town, assigns Jason a dangerous and complex mission. Despite the long-standing conflicts between Tracy and Drew, Tracy has decided to set aside their differences and focus on a common goal, to help Port Charles free itself from Sonny's increasing control. However, nothing is as simple as it seems, and Drew's involvement only complicates matters. His appearance at this time raises suspicions. Is Tracy really working to help Port Charles, or does she have a deeper, hidden agenda that she has yet to reveal? While Tracy seems to be cooperating with Drew for a noble cause, she cannot help but feel uneasy about everything that is unfolding. Recently, Drew revealed some of his secrets, particularly regarding the losses he suffered in the LA wildfires. These losses were not just material, but also deeply personal, marking a significant shift in Drew's character. This revelation causes everyone around him to reconsider his motives and the path he is taking. Is Tracy being dragged into a plan orchestrated by Drew without her knowing, or can she truly trust him and work with him for a common goal? Meanwhile, Jason, with his sharp investigative instincts and career in mind, finds himself in a precarious position. He must decide whether to trust Tracy and carry out the mission or to question everything, as things seem to be falling into place in a way that doesn't seem right. Jason is no fool, but in this case, he is faced with difficult truths and deceitful plots. If Tracy is truly working with Drew on a larger scheme, can Jason uncover the truth in time to stop it? However, what Tracy doesn't know is that Drew is secretly setting up a deeper plan to deceive her. Not only that, he is preparing to take the next bold step. And what Tracy believes is Drew's assistance may be the biggest threat to her yet. Recently, Drew has arranged a subtle but deadly maneuver to take Tracy down using ketamine, a powerful anesthetic. This action is not just a significant blow to the relationship between Tracy and Drew but could lead to an even more dangerous confrontation, as Tracy becomes the target of a dark plot she never saw coming. Drew, who has always been adept at hiding his true intentions, is now more unpredictable than ever. While others may think he is simply helping Tracy to protect the city, the truth is he is manipulating every situation to ensure his own gain. The use of ketamine is not just a tactic to incapacitate Tracy, but also the next step in Drew's larger plan to seize control and create chaos in the lives of those in power in Port Charles. At the same time, Jason, though suspicious, remains silent and continues to observe, while Tracy is trying to convince Jason that she only wants to help Port Charles. The oddities Jason notices seem to confirm his doubts. Jason knows that things might not be as simple as they seem and that these changes could lead to an inevitable confrontation. But will he act in time to stop Drew and protect Tracy, or will everything plunge into a web of deception and betrayal? As Tracy remains focused on her own plans, she may not realize she is stepping into a game she cannot control. Will she uncover Drew's true motives before it's too late? And Jason, always a formidable obstacle to devious plans, will face risky decisions, determining whether he can protect those he cares about as the complex schemes unfold right before his eyes. This week, fans of General Hospital will witness the powerful return of Laura, one of the most legendary figures in the world of Port Charles, as she faces a series of significant challenges in both her personal life and professional endeavors. After receiving a shocking revelation from Sonny on Tuesday, Laura, known for her calm demeanor and rational thinking, will experience a rare moment of losing control, a reaction that no one could have anticipated. What has happened to Laura? Why would a strong, experienced woman like her lose her composure in such a way? The situation begins when Sonny, always known for his complex and cunning plans, unexpectedly reveals a truth to Laura that she could never have foreseen. She learns that a grand scheme is underway to elect Ezra as the new mayor of Port Charles, replacing her in the position. This revelation shatters Laura, not only because it threatens her political power but also because it represents a betrayal from those she has trusted. This isn't just the loss of a position. It's an attack on her credibility and years of hard work. Laura, who has always been a steadfast and dignified leader, now finds herself at the mercy of a plot she never saw coming. The anger that wells up inside her is not just about losing the mayoral seat but also about the personal betrayal she feels from her closest allies, particularly Sonny. Her emotions run high as she grapples with the realization that the people she once counted on have turned against her. While these political machinations unfold, another issue may be contributing to Laura's loss of composure. Her relationship with her daughter, Lulu, has always been strained, and when Laura uncovers just how much Lulu has upset Brooklyn, her concern deepens. Lulu's actions have caused significant tension in the family, and Laura, always the protector, struggles to find a way to resolve the conflict. Brooklyn, who has already had her own set of troubles, now finds herself at odds with Lulu, further complicating things for Laura. The rift between Lulu and Brooklyn is not just a trivial family disagreement. It is a growing crisis that threatens the stability of the Spencer family. Laura, who has always been the rock of her family, finds herself caught between her daughter's actions and the fallout it causes, unsure of how to fix the damage. On top of this, if Laura were to discover that her son, Lucky, is involved in the car accident between Rick and Elizabeth, things would spiral even further. The last thing Laura would expect is for her son, whom she has always been proud of, to be caught up in something as serious as a car accident involving two other people who are deeply connected to their family. The weight of this knowledge would hit Laura hard, leaving her questioning not only Lucky's role in the incident but also the extent to which he may be hiding something. This revelation would challenge Laura's ability to hold everything together and force her to confront uncomfortable truths about her own family. Why would Lucky, a son she always believed to be good and honorable, be involved in something like this? What does this mean for their relationship, and how will it affect the larger dynamics of the Spencer family? These accumulated shocks and betrayals are more than Laura can handle, leading her to lose her usual composure. The combination of the political betrayal from Sonny and the family secrets that continue to unfold forces Laura to react in ways she never has before. In her pursuit of resolving one crisis, Laura finds herself surrounded by a web of deception and confusion, each new revelation more difficult to stomach than the last. She, who has always been the calm and rational figure in Port Charles, now finds herself overwhelmed with anger, frustration, and a sense of helplessness. Laura's emotional breakdown is a pivotal moment in the show. And it's one that will not only affect her but will also have a ripple effect on everyone around her. Her anger is not just a reaction to losing her position as mayor but also a reflection of the deep sense of betrayal she feels from those she loved and trusted. It's clear that when Laura loses her composure, it's not just a momentary lapse in judgment, it's the culmination of years of pent-up frustrations and unresolved tensions. And as she grapples with the harsh truths about her family and her political career, the consequences of her outburst will be felt by everyone in Port Charles. The once dignified Laura Spencer is now on the verge of unraveling, and her emotional journey will be one of the most compelling and heartbreaking arcs of the week. As these dramatic revelations unfold, it will be fascinating to see how Laura deals with the fallout. Will she regain her composure? Or will she continue to spiral into a state of anger and disillusionment? And how will her family, particularly Lulu and Lucky, react to her discovery of their secrets? This week, Laura's world will be turned upside down, and nothing will ever be the same again. This week in Port Charles, Emma's storyline takes a dramatic turn as she faces a series of unexpected events that could completely change her life. Everything begins when Emma, a young woman full of ambition, receives some devastating news. It could be that her important USB drive has malfunctioned, destroying all the work she has spent so much time on, leaving her unable to complete key projects. The feeling of helplessness and disappointment will overwhelm Emma as she realizes that everything she worked for has been lost in an instant. However, the worst blow might come when she learns that she was not selected to be the summer assistant for Professor Dalton, someone she greatly admires. This was a big opportunity for Emma to break into the academic world she's always dreamed of, and being rejected will not only be a huge shock but also make her feel left behind. The disappointment of missing out on this chance will make Emma question whether she is truly capable of achieving what she wants in life. Her dreams seem to be slipping through her fingers. And the feeling of failure will leave her feeling emotionally drained. What complicates matters even further is her complicated relationship with Jocelyn, her longtime friend with whom she has recently grown closer after years of rivalry. If Emma discovers that Jocelyn may have indirectly, or even directly, caused her to lose this opportunity, she will face a mental and emotional crisis, betrayal from the person Emma trusts the most. This revelation could deeply hurt Emma, not just because she lost the opportunity, but because she has lost trust in her closest friend. The worst part for Emma won't just be losing an opportunity but also the overwhelming sense of betrayal. How will she face her best friend knowing that Jocelyn might be responsible for everything she's going through? The feeling of betrayal will become an ongoing torment for Emma, forcing her to confront a painful truth that she didn't want to accept. Will Emma have the strength to face the truth and continue on? Or will she succumb to the overwhelming emotions of betrayal and despair? But Emma's danger doesn't stop at losing a career opportunity. She is also facing an invisible threat as she inadvertently reveals her secrets to Jocelyn. The information that Emma has shared with her closest friend could become a double-edged sword, as there is a dark force watching and manipulating everything behind the scenes without Emma knowing. Brennan, a manipulative and cunning character, is the one pulling the strings behind all of this. He is not just a behind-the-scenes player but the real mastermind, orchestrating events to achieve his personal goals. It seems that Brennan has carefully planned everything, and Emma doesn't realize that she's being drawn into a game that she cannot control. With Brennan's intricate schemes in motion, Emma is now in even greater danger than she realizes. The secrets she unknowingly shared with Jocelyn might now be used by Brennan to further his agenda. Emma is unaware that Brennan has been using her disclosures to set up the next phase of his plan. All of what Emma thought she trusted now becomes a tangled mess that she must figure out how to navigate. Her relationship with Jocelyn, which has already had its cracks, will now be pushed to its breaking point. Will Emma realize that she's being manipulated in this game? What will she do when she discovers that all of her secrets have been exploited by Brennan? Her wrong decisions could trap her in a situation that is almost impossible to escape, and if she doesn't stay alert, she will face severe consequences, not just for herself but for those around her. This week, Emma's life will never be the same, and she will have to confront some of the hardest challenges she has ever faced, from the betrayal of Jocelyn to the dark schemes she never saw coming. This week in Port Charles, not only Emma's story takes a dramatic turn, but many other characters will also face significant upheavals in their lives. From betrayal, loss, to dark conspiracies, each character is confronted with challenges that could shape their futures in ways they never expected. They will face hidden secrets, past mistakes, and decisions that could change everything. Emma, who began this journey full of hope and anticipation, is now forced to face a series of shocks that could push her to a difficult crossroads. The bad news about not being selected as the summer assistant to Professor Dalton is a heavy blow, but the worst part might come when she discovers that her best friend, Jocelyn, could be indirectly, or even directly, responsible for her losing this opportunity. The betrayal from the one person she trusted the most will not only hurt Emma but will also shake her faith in the relationships she has built. She will have to face a huge question. Is Jocelyn truly her friend, or just someone hiding truths Emma couldn't have imagined? Will she be able to forgive these mistakes, or will she choose to sever the relationship for good? At the same time, Jocelyn will not be able to avoid the consequences of her actions. The relationship between her and Emma, which had already been turbulent, will now be tested severely as Emma discovers Jocelyn's possible role in her failure. Jocelyn, though always trying to prove herself as a good friend, will now have to confront a painful truth. Her deception will hurt not only Emma but also those around her, causing a rift in her relationships. Guilt will weigh heavily on Jocelyn as she realizes that her actions not only hurt Emma but have shattered the trust everyone once placed in her. She will have to ask herself whether she can fix these mistakes, and whether there is a chance to rebuild her relationship with those she has hurt. Laura, who has always been a rock for her family, will also face significant challenges this week. After learning about the plan to elect Ezra as mayor instead of her, Laura will feel betrayed. This betrayal is not just a blow to her career but also a deep wound to her, as she realizes that the people closest to her have turned their backs on her. Sonny, whom she trusted and worked with for a long time, is now part of this scheme, making Laura feel like she's being pushed out of a game she has spent her life building. Difficult decisions will weigh on Laura, as she must choose between fighting to regain her power and protect the values she believes in or letting go and finding a new path. Meanwhile, Lucky and Lulu, Laura's children, will also have to face painful truths about the past and the present. Lucky's involvement in the car accident between Rick and Elizabeth will be a huge shock to the family. Laura, with all the love and pride she has for her son, will be disappointed to learn that Lucky might be hiding things from her. Will Lucky be able to explain his actions? Or will he continue to hide the truth, pushing the family into an even more difficult situation? And Lulu, always caught between the family struggles, will face even more tension when discovering the secrets of her loved ones, which might push her into a greater crisis. Laura's relationship with her children will be tested as secrets and feelings of betrayal slowly come to light. Finally, Brennan, the mastermind behind all these plots, will continue to play his cards behind the scenes, manipulating events to serve his personal goals. He has not only exploited Emma but is also pulling strings with others, pulling them into his game of power. Everything Brennan does has a purpose, and no one can predict his next move. Can Brennan continue to control everything from behind the curtain, or will someone, like Jason or Laura, uncover his scheme and stop it before it's too late? All these characters, from Emma, Jocelyn, Laura, Lucky, Lulu, to Brennan, are standing at crucial turning points in their lives. Each decision they make will not only impact their own futures but also affect everyone around them. Their relationships will be tested, love, loyalty, betrayal, and trust will be the defining factors for what happens next. Will they be able to overcome the temptations and dark schemes surrounding them? Or will they be caught up in the inevitable consequences of their past mistakes? Only time will tell.